I'm referring to one of the poets written by Robert Frost, The Road Not Taken. After our discussion, of the Civil War, we started talking about Vietnam, a time in which I was young to remember firsthand. I only saw Vietnam on TV with Walter Cronkite and all the big names in the news business. I only remember what TV brought, but not Chief Adams. His military career started in the United States in the Army as a crew chief / gunner on a gunship. He served places like An Key, Quang Tri, and Dao Tiang. I may or could have seen Chief Adams during his youth on that gunship on TV. Unfortunately, I only remember what the 60s and 70s brought for me. But to Chief Adams, it was a different road. After the Army, Chief Adams joined the United States. I had mixed emotions, not knowing what to say, so once again I just kept quiet. Then he handed me a beer, a very hospitable thing for a Confederate to do, and to a blue belly such as myself, he puts it. He explained to me items of concern he felt for the youth today. That is what he said, and this is what he know how to end, except with a good night and a lingering thought in my mind that our country is served well by the dedication of ones like our Chief Adams. Now I stand here getting ready to watch a war horse retire. I was going to read a poem, Sea Fever, by John Mansfield. No, I said. There's Sherman's March to the Sea with Salt and Wound. But I said no. Then I thought The Charge of the Light Brigade. No. By Alfred Tennyson. Not that one either. So in closing, thanks, Gary. So in closing, what?
You're doing good for a blue band.
So in closing, I'll use an expert from one of my favorite poets, Robert Frost, that I mentioned earlier. You took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference.
Ladies and gentlemen, AIMD's training officer, Chief Warrant Officer Eggleton.
Commander Bicknell, Chaplain Paul, Mrs. Adams, honored guests, men and women of AIMD. It is indeed an honor and a pleasure for me to serve as a retirement officer for a friend and a shipmate, Chief Gary Adams. I first met Gary about 8 years ago in Pensacola, Florida. He reported to Training Air Wing 6, and as far as I was concerned, fell into one of the best deals going. He was assigned as a contract monitoring inspector. So while I was busy trying to keep the maintenance officer out of trouble, he and the rest of the inspectors lived a life of rally. But they say payback is a dog. So when I received a call from Gary over in Sigonella a year or so after I transferred from the wing, inquiring about my squadron HC4, I told him that it was better than being a contract monitor. I told him all about the exotic liberty spots that the cadets went on and the per diem. Just all the good stuff. You know what? He couldn't wait to get to Sigonella. Well, he found out HC4 was everything I said and more. The challenge of 18 to 20-hour days, deaths to USS Steel Beach and Cairo, Egypt, just to name a few. Helicopter pilots for maintenance officers. It was more fun than a body could stand. Right, Gary?
That's right.
You got it. Well, although Gary never thanked me for giving him the lowdown on the squadron, I know that he trusted my judgment, because about 6 months after I got here, I received another phone call from, you guessed it, Gary Adams. Well, I just gave him the straight facts. I told him that Pax River was better than HC4. Well, he couldn't wait to get here because all the contract monitoring jobs in Pensacola were filled. But I think he appreciated my advice, or I probably wouldn't be standing here this afternoon. But seriously, folks, I have enjoyed serving with Gary. He has added words to my vocabulary for which I will be eternally grateful. I want to share one of them with you. How many of you have heard of a Bill Jones sandwich? Not many of you, that's what I thought. Well, now, Gary has a little bit of a southern accent. Those of you who know him, you know this. So when we were invited over to the MO's house for a hail and farewell, I asked Gary what was on the menu. He said, Bill Jones sandwiches. I asked Gary, what? Everybody in the office said, what is that? He said, you know, it's where you have those cold cuts and lettuce and tomatoes and your bouillon. And I said, Bill Jones. Okay, all right, good. Bill Jones. You get that? So anyway, we had a great time at the hail and farewell eating those Bill Jones sandwiches. And I know we'll forget that. And Gary, I think it's time to get down to the business at hand. We're here this afternoon to recognize you for your more than 26 years of military service. And I want to say it's been great serving with you. And I look forward to giving you a phone call when you get down to Pensacola and get everything set up for me. Okay? So let's begin.
Chief Adams, please approach the podium. From Commanding Officer, Naval Air Station, Patuxent River, Maryland, to ABC Gary L. Adams, United States Navy. Subject, letter of appreciation upon transfer to the Fleet Reserve of the United States Navy. Your transfer to the Fleet Reserve is a time of particular significance in that it marks the zenith in a career of unselfish dedication, loyalty, and service. At this major milestone in your life, you should reflect on the substantial contributions you have made to your country through your military service. You met every challenge with distinction and can look back with justifiable pride. I also realize that your retirement is marked by mixed emotions, some happy for the completion of such an honorable service and career, and some sad for leaving the camaraderie of your shipmates. Your military career spanned over 26 years at various duty stations, beginning with your enlistment in the United States Army at Montgomery, Alabama on 6 April 1965, and then during your Army career you served with distinction at Nike Missile Base, Turner Air Force Base, Albany, Georgia, Nike Missile Battalion, Dillsboro, Indiana, 229th Assault Helicopter Battalion, Republic of Vietnam, 4th Aircraft Maintenance Battalion, Hunter Army Field, Savannah, Georgia, 229th Assault Helicopter Battalion, Republic of Vietnam, Army Aviation Center, Fort Rucker, Ozark, Alabama, and finally the 141st Military Police Company, Fort Rucker, Ozark, Alabama. Your naval career began with your enlistment at Atlanta, Georgia on 7 May 1973. During your naval career, you served with distinction aboard Helicopter and Submarine Squadron 3, Naval Air Station, Quonset Point, Rhode Island, Training Squadron 4, Naval Air Station, Pensacola, Florida, Naval Air Facility, Sigonella, Italy, Training Air Wing 6, Naval Air Station, Pensacola, Florida, Helicopter Combat Support Squadron 4, Sigonella, Italy, and finally Naval Air Station, Patuxent River, Maryland. As an indication of your dedication and devotion to duty throughout your extraordinary career, you have been awarded the Bronze Star Medal, Air Medal, 7 awards, Army Commendation with V Device, 2 awards, Army Meritorious Unit Commendation, Navy Meritorious Unit Commendation, 2 awards, Navy E-Ribbon, 2 awards, Army Good Conduct Medal, Navy Good Conduct Medal, 4 awards, National Defense Service Medal, 2 awards, Vietnam Service Medal, 6 Campaign Stars, Sea Service Deployment Ribbon, Navy Marine Corps Overseas Service Ribbon, 7 awards, Republic of Vietnam Gallantry Cross with Palm Unit Citation, Republic of Vietnam Campaign Medal, Army Permanent Aircrew Member, Wings, and Expert Rifleman Medal. On the occasion of your retirement from active service, please accept the wholehearted appreciation of this command in the United States Navy for your outstanding performance throughout your many years of devoted service to this nation. On behalf of your friends and co-workers, civilian and military, I salute you and wish you and your family happiness, good health, and continued success in your future endeavors. May you have fair winds and following seas. Captain Donald H. Brett. Were there no more medals?
They're coming next month.
From Commander Naval Air Warfare. Center Aircraft Division letter of commendation. Commander Naval Air Warfare Center Aircraft Division takes pleasure in commending Chief Aviation Machinist Mate Gregory Layden Adams, United States Navy, for services set forth in the following citation. For outstanding performance while serving as Power Plants Division and Jet Engine Repair Branch Chief, Aircraft Intermediate Maintenance Department, Naval Air Station, Pax River, from 28 September 1990 to 30 April 1992. During your tour of Tucson River, you earned a solid reputation for your strong leadership in guiding your 60-man division toward increased productivity and improved morale. You led your subordinates to increase their knowledge about jet engines and resulted in an 83% advancement rate for your division. Responding to problems with jet engine support equipment, you established and improved inspection and tracking procedures for jet engine branch support equipment. You instituted a process for documenting the tracking jet engine preservation, ensuring that a hazardous waste containment project was completed, and improved availability of repair parts. The improvements you made to the work center under your leadership significantly improved jet engine availability to your customers. Your outstanding performance, professionalism, and personal dedication to duty reflect great credit upon yourself and are in keeping with the highest traditions of the United States Naval Service. Signed, Barton D. Strong, Rear Admiral Select, United States Navy. Certificate of Appreciation for Service in the Armed Forces of the United States. Chief Aviation Machinist Mate Gary L. Adams, I extend to you my personal thanks and the sincere appreciation of a grateful nation for your contribution of honorable service to our country. You have helped maintain the security of the nation during a critical time in its history with a devotion to duty and a spirit of sacrifice in keeping with the proud traditions of the military service. I trust that in the coming years you will maintain an active interest in the armed forces and the purposes for which you served. My best wishes to you for your happiness and success in the future. Signed, George Bush, Commander-in-Chief. From the Department of the Navy, the CPO community takes pleasure in presenting to ADC Gary L. Adams the following retirement creed. You have on this day experienced that which comes to all of us who have served on active duty in our Navy. I say our Navy because your departure from active duty in no way terminates your relationship. By law and by tradition, U.S. Navy retirees are always on the rolls, ever ready to lend their service when the need arises. The respect that you earned as the chief was based on the same attributes that you now carry into retirement. You should have no regrets. You do not view your retirement as an end of an era, but rather as orders to a new and challenging assignment, to a form of independent duty. Remember well that you have been and will always be an accepted member of the most exclusive of all fraternities, that of the United States Naval Chief Petty Officers. The active duty chiefs salute you. The retired chiefs welcome you. I wish you the traditional fair winds and following seas. Best regards from all Chief Petty Officers. Signed, D.R. Bushy, Master Chief Petty Officer of the Navy. Zana, would you please join your husband at the podium? From the United States Navy to all those who shall see these presents, greetings. This is to certify that Zana S. Adams has earned grateful appreciation for her unselfish, faithful, and devoted service during her husband's naval career. Her unfailing support and understanding helped to make possible her husband's lasting contribution to the nation. Given this 30th day of April 1992, signed Donald A. Wright, Captain USN. Ladies and gentlemen, the leading Chief Petty Officer of AIMD, Senior Chief Miller.
I'd like to introduce the Council on behalf of the Chief Petty Officer of the Board of Tucson.
Chief Adams, you obviously don't have any comments to make, right?
I got one or two.
Okay. Chief Adams, do you have any comments that you would care to make, or any thoughts for your shipmates to carry on?
I don't know how this is going to go. See, this is the way retirements are supposed to be, like everything else. Have a good time, you know, not a funeral yet. And as we all know, at times military personnel are required to be at mandatory functions like quarters, change of command, and retirement ceremonies. But I didn't want to make this a mandatory thing, so I'm glad everybody that's in here came of your own accord. Nobody pressured you into being here and all that, right? And also, as in the words of Starfleet Command, our prime directive here, excuse me, Commander, NAS Pax River is to seek out and attend all meetings possible. We try to work on aircraft and engines if they don't interfere with our prime directive. But no. Actually, I got a whole bunch more stuff here, but the only thing I want to say for all you folks, just do the best job you can, and if you run up on people, you get real close to them, you know, get their address from them, something like that. Maybe years down the road, you might want to get a hold of them again. It's going to be real hard. So keep in contact with people, especially close friends. And I've met a lot of friends here too, civilian and military alike. I just want to thank everybody for being here. And it's almost time to eat, so let's get this over with.
Thank you, Chief. From the Fleet Reserve of the United States Navy. This is to certify that Gary L. Adams, a Chief Aviation Machinist Mate, was transferred from active duty to the Fleet Reserve of the United States Navy on the 30th day of April, 1992, after 26 years of service. This certificate is awarded as a testimonial of faithful and honorable service. Signed, Donald A. Wright, Captain, United States Navy.
This says I'm out. Not yet. You gotta wait till 30 people.
You get that first check in the mailbox when you
Checks in the mail.
Let's pray. I love sideboard. Sideways. Right. Face. Adams, please. Right there. Proceed with closing.
Congratulations there.
For your attendance, there will be a reception immediately following the ceremony. You are invited to attend and sing Chief Adams drop in style. Staff.
I got Sarah not for the next 3 days. I moved back to DC. She was moved. I pulled off the bar.
Just leave me alone. Shut up! Oh, back at one time.
That's all right. I had to drive all the way to the base last night.
One of your first. Joe wanted to go to see